What is going on, FN Nation? Jon Impemba here with Andrew Cooper. It is NFL Week 4, my friends. Here we made it through the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, and we got ourselves a nice slate to talk about here today, Coop. A lot of stories, injury news, matchups, a lot to talk about here today.
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. Revenge games all over the place. I mean, Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is doing the Lambeau leap today on his old team. You got Cliff Kingsbury and Zach Ertz trying to walk back in the desert and show them they still got it, right? There's tons of those out here. The Red Rifle going up against his Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fired up, man. A lot of good fantasy matchups. I wish that, as always, there's a lot of wishy-washy injury stuff that we got to talk about, and it's going to factor into our start sits. So, folks, today I see obviously the family that's with us every week. They have been in here dropping questions in the chat since 9 this morning.
Since 9 a.m. They're
they know,
ready to go.
They know how to cut the line. We're going to do our best to get all the questions in. Anybody that asks a question before like 12:50 or so, we should be able to get to them. Do us a favor. Help us help you. Include as much information that's important as possible. Leave out the obvious starts. Like if you don't say, I got to start 3 of these guys, Bijan Robinson, and then so-and-so.
Yeah.
You're going to start Bijan, right? Give us PPR, half PPR. Tell us the format. And if it's a player playing tomorrow night that's questionable, please let us know if you have a pivot or not. That's going to help us out. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's football day, Johnny. It's football.
It is. It's NFL Sunday here. We got week 4. Got a lot to talk about. Like you said, you guys were in the chat with us early. We appreciate all of that. If you're tuning in here now, you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Star family. Have the great deal going on. We got our All-Pro promo going on right now with a 7-day free trial. Go to fantasystorm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go gets that first month after your 7-day free trial for less than $20. You can join us for the month for about $19.98. Start 7 days free, which means you get all next week free. You can get all of our DFS content for all sports for free for 7 days if you sign up right now. That's fantasyalarm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go. Got the scroll down at the bottom. For those of you who want to see it, the visual learners there, you can check that out.
I just did a fantasy hockey draft. The top 150 is up there. So, if you're doing fantasy hockey, perfect time to sneak in for a 7-day free trial. Check out how we got those guys ranked too. You know what I mean? We got it all over there. Baseball,
fantasy. I got the FSGA hockey draft next week. So repping Fantasy Alarm in that. So we do it all here at Fantasy Alarm, but it's football Sunday. If you guys haven't already hit that like, that subscribe, that share button to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel, certainly it's a free way to help us out. You hit that subscribe button. You can ask questions in the chat. Again, completely free to subscribe to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. Helps us out in a big way. But Coop, let's get the pleasantries aside. We got a lot of questions to get to for everybody. I do want to start off with one thing, though. You think Aaron Jones does the Lambeau leap? Do we have our Coop patented Sunday bet placed yet then?
So my bet of the day is the Chiefs to win by more than 7. I think Justin Herbert gets pulled from this game. I think it gets ugly. The Chargers are, dude, they're missing Joey Bosa. Derwin James is suspended. Half their offensive line is hurt. Their quarterback's banged up. I don't understand why the spread isn't 20. You know what I mean? 7. Yeah. So I'm already in on that. But the Aaron Jones anytime touchdown, I think it's a fun bet. I think it's an exciting bet. I think he's got the purple sombrero packed and brought with him, ready to go. Even if you think that the Packers are going to win, they're going to give Aaron Jones every opportunity to prove to this team that they should not have released him. So I think that's a fun one. What about you, John? You got anything in?
Along the same lines that you had with the Chiefs, I've been trolling and waiting to see if they would release any sort of Chiefs defensive side props here. They don't have them yet. I want to see sacks on like Chris Jones. I want to see what the numbers going to be like. They probably won't even release it because they're trying to protect themselves. But I've been looking for a bit here to see if that one would come through. So we'll keep an eye on it for everybody. We did get news a little while ago before we went live. Joe Mixon not going to play today. So once again, Texans are going to be without Mixon, without Dameon Pierce. Cam Akers did almost nothing last week but find the end zone, and that saved fantasy managers there. So I'm sure we'll have some Cam Akers questions, but let's just get to it. Ethan was in early this morning. Halfway PPR, 1 flex, 1 running back, White, Brown, Irving, Myers, and McConkey here.
Man, that's tough. I think you're probably just going to have to bite the bullet and start Zamir White. Chase Brown, Zach Moss essentially tripled him up on snaps last week. He's doing kickoffs and then mixing in a little bit. And then Bucky Irving has a hamstring, and Todd Bowles did push back on him a little bit. So I think you just got to as crazy as sounds, start Zamir White and Jacoby Myers. I mean,
yeah, I think the interest in Irving now is that Rashad White popping up in the injury report yesterday with the illness. You know, if
sick. Yeah,
White
he's
doesn't
got
play, it's basically the Bucky Irving show there.
if White because so it's food poisoning.
Yeah,
So I mean,
give him an IV. Maybe he
it's
works himself out. You
then he
know,
plays, yeah, but that does stink. It saps all your energy. Anyone's had food poisoning, it's awful. So I don't know. Yeah, if Rashad White is out, then obviously it's Bucky. But I mean, Jacoby Myers. I mean, there's no Devontae Adams, no Michael Mayer. I
yeah.
just like the floor for Jacoby Myers is good,
Yeah, I took the over Myers 4 receptions today. So
easy.
it's had it in each of the last 2 weeks, and now there's no Adams, so it feels like a no-brainer.
It's free. It's free real estate.
Ethan, again, following that question up, Kirk, Shakir, Johnston needs one, I guess, on full PPR.
I'm going to go Shakir here. I was off him for a good chunk of the season here, but even though he's coming out for some run plays, he actually like it's very strange. He plays like 60% of the snaps in most games, but last game he ran like 85% of the routes. So if
Yeah.
you're playing on the pass plays, that's all that matters. So and he leads the team in targets.
Yeah, no, he looked great last week. Obviously, should be a little bit of a tougher matchup or competitive matchup against Baltimore here tonight. I will say though, Christian Kirk did have the game we've been waiting for last week. 8 catches, 10 targets. So
With no with no Matt Milano and no Terrell Bernard. Conditions were perfect.
sure,
And no
yeah.
Evan Ingram. Well, I guess Evan Ingram's out too.
And Evan Ingram's out. I mean, you're looking at obviously a game where they're likely to play from behind. They might have to throw. So I'm fine going Shakir, but I'm also a little bullish on Kirk. I think they know they have to get him involved,
Right.
or you would hope they know they have to get him involved. Last week we had the over 2.5 first quarter reception yards, which he had 1 catch for 6. So we cashed that one. That was a fun day.
I tell you what, now that I look at it, I actually do in my rankings have Kirk at 34 and Shakir at 36. So
Yeah.
let's go Kirk with no
Right,
Ingram.
Ethan, we're going Kirk there. We think Jacksonville understands what they got to do here to win this game against the Texans. PPR flex: Jacobs, McLaurin, Addison, or Worthy. I mean, this is really a question of the top 2. You're not going to play the second 2 here. McLaurin gets the Cardinals matchup. Jacobs gets Minnesota here. Jordan Love's back though, so better offense.
I'm starting Josh Jacobs. They've been leaning on him this whole time. I don't see why they would stop now that Jordan Love is back. Not to mention, again, you're a GM, you're a coach. You make the decision to go away from Aaron Jones and bring Josh Jacobs in there. Opportunity to showcase what Josh Jacobs can do and why you made that decision. It would be pretty ugly if Aaron Jones comes out and has 150 yards and Josh Jacobs has like 20. And then again, this is show business, and to do that in front of the fans, I don't know if they want to put that out there.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm good. I'm good there as well. Again, obviously the high scoring game of the day is in that Arizona Washington game, but is Jaden Daniels going to be able to repeat performance? I guess we'll see. I think both are really good spots here. 49ers or Raiders today. I mean, the Raiders got the Patriots. Worst offensive line of football. There was a stat out earlier this week. Time to pressure for Jacoby Myers is Jacoby Brissett, rather. It's the worst in the NFL. It's less than 2 seconds time to pressure when he's under center. And it's like 3.5 when he's in shotgun.
Yeah.
He has less than 2 seconds before he's under pressure. So I got to go 49ers here.
Yeah, it's a 10.5 point spread. I have the 49ers. There's an argument for them to be the number 1 defense. Either them.
Number 1 price defense in DFS this week. So
either them or the Jets, yeah. And the Raiders, I mean, they're missing Max Crosby. I mean, without that guy, what's the appeal?
Yeah, I agree. The appeal is obviously against Deshaun Watson, but
yeah.
you got to go 49ers here, I think. Need a quarterback: Darnold, Fields, or A. Rich. Bender and I have had opposite takes on Anthony Richardson here this week. I am out on him for a bit. I'm on the need to see it before I believe it. Here, last 2 weeks, obviously, have been pretty atrocious. Even then, in week 1, he was saved by his legs, which is the calling card. But a guy that's completing less than 50% of his passes, now he's got a good up against another good defense in Pittsburgh. I'm out on Rich here. I don't mind Darnold. Bender liked Green Bay here today, but I'm fine with going Sam Darnold in this spot.
I see. And again, I'm the one that usually is against Justin Fields, but you can really run on the Colts. John, you're the QB guru, so if you say Darnold,
my take on Fields is I said that we did the DFS show, which you can find on YouTube after the show. Go watch it, check it out, set your DFS lineups. We spent probably about 5 minutes talking about Justin Fields and sort of my take on Fields is I think he's sort of playing within the system that Pittsburgh wants him to play, right? Like Chicago built their offense around Fields doing whatever he wanted, right? Like he wasn't a good thrower. Go run, go do this. That's fine. Pittsburgh is, and Arthur Smith, of course, who never uses his players the way they're supposed to be used, is more than happy handing the football off to Najee Harris 20 times, running these, these easy passing routes. That's why you see Fields completing over 70% of his passes on low volume. I don't think they want him running the football. I think they're comfortable winning games with defense and with Najee Harris. And when they need him to make a throw, they make it an easy play for him to complete a pass. You haven't really seen him expand. Obviously, week 1, he had like the 13 carries, but he hasn't done much on the ground since. So I'm wondering if that's they built an offense around Russell Wilson, and now they're having Justin Fields be Russell Wilson and not be Justin Fields.
All right. Well, if he's not, you're right. He hasn't been running. He's been running for like 3 yards a carry too. I mean, it's funny when you have a quarterback breathing down your neck, John, you tend to slide a little more, it seems.
Right? Well, yeah, that. And like I said, we always talk about systems ruining quarterbacks, right? There was a tweet out today. Organizations fail young quarterbacks for young quarterbacks fail organizations. Was a tweet that I think Dan Orlovsky might have tweeted that out there, but Fields, obviously, we saw the upside he had in Chicago, but then we saw the downside, the very downside. So
Gerard Mayo made a point to come out and say that they have a different scheme for Drake May.
Yeah.
He straight up said that he knows that happens and they have a run. He goes, the quote was, if we have a run and shoot quarterback, we're going to run a run and shoot offense. So they have a different scheme ready to go for May if and when he comes in.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you.
Back to the question. Sorry for the rant there, but that's my take on Justin.
We need it.
If he doesn't run again today, I don't think they want him running the football. I think they want him being a quarterback that can run, not a running quarterback.
Give me Russell Wilson. I want Russell Wilson. Fryermuth's usage is good. He just needs more quality targets.
But you can develop Fields. Maybe a better Russell Wilson play. Pick 2: Metcalf, Godwin, McLaurin, Addison. Worthy. This is some good wide receiver groups here. Yeah. I mean, we can't really go away from our guy Chris Godwin.
No, we can't. And Metcalf, man, these corners for the Lions, they're calling for Terrion Arnold to be benched, the rookie.
Yeah.
And on the other side from him, Carlton Davis has allowed the most yards of any cornerback so far. So DK Metcalf, JSN, get them all in there. So it's Metcalf and Godwin.
Yeah, again, and it feels weird sitting McLaurin off the week he had and the matchup he has, but it's just tough to do. Jacobs or Gibbs for PPR here.
Gibbs and Derrick Henry are the two players I move the most between half and full PPR. Yeah. And you have to start Gibbs in PPR. You have to. I have Gibbs. If this was standard, I would say Jacobs, but in full PPR, you got to start Gibbs.
Plus, you like the matchup he's in today against Seattle.
The matchup. Yep.
Maximus half PPR. Dobbins, D-Hop, and Irving needs one there.
Yeah, D-Hop's still not playing a full snap share. They did get him some looks. He twisted his way into the end zone last week, but I mean.
Do you think he just continues to move forward in snaps like this week?
I think he does, but I want to see it though because it's not even half, John. He's not played even 50% yet.
Sure.
I think I'd just go Dobbins, man.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, not great.
If you think you need the juice, then go D-Hop. I'm not going to start Bucky Irvin with the hamstring business. Okay. So it's Dobbins or D-Hop. If you think you need the juice, go D-Hop. Just know that he's been a part-time player.
Yeah. In Miami, Monday Night Football, it's also kind of tough there. Yeah, I mean, Dobbins should at least get the volume, but it's just not a good spot. They're going to be playing from behind. It's going to be an ugly spot there. London, Dubs, or Myers? London did have the big comeback week last week. He was doing nothing for almost all of that game, and then he was able to get some things done.
That's been him all year. That's been him all year long. And he gets Marshawn Lattimore, but still, I'm starting my stud in London. We don't Jacoby Myers. The floor is good, but what is the ceiling?
Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna face Trent McDuffie, so I'm gonna go London.
Yeah, the ceiling for Myers is in a PPR is just that he catches 6 passes for maybe. So he had a touchdown last week, right? So, but do you trust the Raiders and they're now once again dysfunction that's going on in that organization?
I think these guys all have similar floors, but if someone's gonna have 120 and 2 touchdowns,
it's gonna be London. Yeah, I agree. Komet Laporta, I mean, you're the tight end guy. I know you've been in quite the distress to start this year with the way the state of the tight end position is rolled out.
It's every year though, man. It's every year.
There's
Like
at least usually guys that are out there like, yeah, play right now.
yeah,
It's like Brock Bowers, and that's about it, right?
that's it. Yeah. Well, expectations are usually high. There's going to be a big bounce back week for the position, I believe, John. I think Mark Andrews went to the Ravens directly to Ravens official website and gave a bunch of quotes. Like, I feel great. If you watch the tape, I look good. You know, last week we just ran it a bunch. The ball hasn't been coming my way. Basically saying, pass me the football.
Yeah.
So I think Mark Andrews has a bounce back. Travis Kelce always destroys the Chiefs. No Demario Davis for the Saints means that Kyle Pitts could make some work over the middle. Laporta has the ankle, but I'm still going Laporta. People are chasing last week with Komet. The Bears, they had 90 snaps. They dropped back over 60 times. It'd be one thing if Komet got all those targets by himself, but everybody on the team got double-digit targets, right? And Keenan Allen's back this week. Komet, I'm telling you guys, don't chase last week's points. Start Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Keith here, wide receiver and a flex for PPR. Cooper, Williams, Waddle, and Hubbard.
Waddle with Tyler Huntley. Boy, we do like Chuba too. Is it Amari and Chuba?
Chuba is a super popular DFS play today, obviously against the Bengals, because a lot of people are expecting volume, but even then, some dump down work for PPR. I really like Amari Cooper here. Again, like the volume has been there all the weeks. He was able to actually convert on it last week. And if there's no Crosby on the other side to pressure Deshaun, like when Watson's had like a cleaner pocket, he's had the ability to make some throws. You know, and I think Cooper's still kind of a stud. So I would go Amari.
I guess. So for the Bengals, no Sheldon Rankins, no BJ Hill. Like, you know, you can run up the gut on him. I think
Hubbard has a safer floor of that group for sure. Obviously, JMO has a ceiling. They've been using him all over the field in terms of his route tree. You know, they made it a point this offseason. They didn't want him just to be a guy that runs straight. And you see him running a lot more horizontal routes across the field. It's getting him open, allowing him to make big plays. And I actually think Huntley's might be the better quarterback that they've had backing up in that offense. So I think there is merit to playing Waddle this week.
Just not over those guys. Like, just not over those players. So
I think Amari for sure for me. And then it's what do you want to do at flex?
I'm going to go Hubbard. The thing with Williams and Waddle is if they go off on your bench, you're not going to be disappointed because there's still questions.
You may be disappointed.
Oh, yeah, but for 1 week though, I mean, it's like there's still questions about those guys. It would be way worse. Like people are like celebrate if you like start Chuba and you bench Jameson Williams and he stinks, or Jalen Waddle. If Jalen Waddle stinks this week, that is terrible for your team because you need Tyler Huntley to be good for a couple games. So like I put those guys on my bench and I still root for them. Right? It's like rooting against your own players just because of you want your decision to be justified is bad. Like if Chuba has a bad week and those guys go off on your bench, that's a good thing because Jonathan Brooks is coming back. You need flexes for the rest of the year. You want those guys to be good.
Agreed.
You know? So there you go. A little psychology for you this morning.
Let's see. Half point PPR, running back in a flex, Monty, Mixon, Etienne, Reed, or Spears.
I don't know if we can start Monty. All that guy does is score a touchdown every single week going back to forever. I think we got to start Monty here.
Yeah.
All the dude does is score touchdowns. Mixon's out. He's out. So it's
you do have Reed with Love back.
Yeah, and Reed regardless gets those. He gets those manufactured touches.
He gets everything. Yeah, they design plays for him to get touches. So
I think it's Monty and Reed.
Yeah, I'm good going there. Etienne versus the Texans today, not my favorite spot. Hubbard or Mason? I'm still going to go Mason here. I'm just going to keep riding that play out.
They're 10.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
They're going to be running the football.
Ford, Shaheed, Myers, Deontay, start 2. Got to go Deontay Johnson. I'm not really worried about the groin. He says he's not worried about the groin, so I'm good.
Yeah, he did say that he was like the field was wet. That's why he didn't practice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, but still, no Thielen. They're home versus the bad Bengals defense here.
Yeah.
I think Deontay's for 1.
Myers is
Olave
not
is going to go through pregame warmups and see how the hamstring feels. So if he's out, you'd have Shaheed basically as the wide receiver 1 today, which I would imagine may even boost tight ends for you in New Orleans if Olave ends up being out, or no?
a little bit, yeah. I mean,
Because
but
they've
like
had 0 points the last 2 weeks.
they rotate like crazy, yeah. So that's kind of the problem there. I mean, Myers half point PPR is not a good format for Myers anyway. He's a full PPR guy. It's a better format for Shaheed. I think it's Deontay and I think it's Deontay and Shaheed.
If I could trust the Ford usage, they didn't use him basically at all last game until the end.
To put in perspective for Shaheed, the Saints have attempted the fewest passes so far in the league with only 65. Yes, they will probably continue to be a low volume team, but like 21 passes a game is insanely low. The team that attempted the fewest last year attempted 29 per game. So we know that's going to come up. And the Shaheed target share of 23%, 22, 23%, depending on what website you look at, that's higher than the target share for guys like Stephon Diggs. It's higher than the target share for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that 23% of 65 is 14 targets. When this team has to throw, Shaheed is going to have these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 target games, and he's going to blow up, and it could be today. So Shaheed down it.
Follow question for him here. Half PPR. He needs a quarterback. Love, Mayfield, Darnold, or Fields. I'm gonna go Love of that group.
Do it.
So
they wouldn't play the franchise if he wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, I agree. If he's not ready to go, I got something in my eye here. If he wasn't ready to go, I would I don't think they would play him. So full PPR need 2 wide receivers in a flex. DeAndre Johnson, Shaheed, Flowers, Jacobs, and Tyreek Hill on Monday. I'm still playing Tyreek Hill. I'm not going to sit Tyreek Hill. So Johnson, Hill. You like Jacobs a lot today, so I guess
Johnson, Hill, Jacobs, and I'm the one driving the Shaheed. I'm the one driving the Shaheed wagon. I personally would start Flowers, Jacobs, Tyreek though. John.
Okay.
Flowers is a target machine, and shout out Josh Latshaw, John. This is the forward thinking he did. He stashed a box of cold snaps, Sam Adams cold snaps last year, so that he would have them early in fall before they even come out. John.
That's smart.
You
got the fridge space. You might as well.
The cold snaps, dude.
I just have a hard time. Johnson had 8 on 14 targets last week, so
I know.
Like Andy Dalton, like this is exactly the player that we want him to be, and they have the quarterback to have him be just this volume monster. So
the tiebreaker for me, groin.
Yeah, I mean, I understand he's got a long injury history. It's just difficult to fade after the matchup that he just had there.
But what about Flowers, though? I mean, Flowers. Look at Flowers' targets.
Yeah, I understand. I like Flowers too. I said you liked Jacobs. I wouldn't mind playing all 3 wide receivers too.
Like against the Cowboys last week, it was Derrick Henry over everybody. The 2 games before that, 11 targets, 10 targets.
No, I have no problem. I mean, it's also game flow. Do you think they're going to be behind versus Buffalo? Then they'll throw a ton. I think it's going to be ahead. They won't. So.
I think it's going to be competitive the entire time.
Okay. Johnson, Kirk, or Mooney? You go Johnson.
Yeah, that's where we go. I like Johnson. Just the guy's team Latshaw's team is loaded.
I took Mooney over 30.5 receiving yards today, by the way. That's feels
one.
He's gone over that. He's almost doubled that up in each of the last 2 weeks. So
that's one play for Darnell Mooney.
One play. Shakir, Metcalf, Hill, Harrison, Shaheed. Well, you're not going to sit Marvin Harrison.
Metcalf is going to crush today. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're playing Harrison and Metcalf. So Shakir, Hill, and Shaheed. And I still think Tyreek Hill.
Just start Tyreek Hill, Metcalf, and Harrison.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome.
And also, this the same question? Yeah, same question. Also, great drafting, man.
That team rocks, Big Mama.
This is kind of an interesting one. We'll talk about this here. Half PPR need 2 running backs: Akers, Stevenson, Pollard, Roshan Johnson, Bucky Irving, and then a wide receiver: Ayuk, Deontay, and Olave. Are you buying into the Roshan Johnson conversation that's been going on this week, where reports out of camp is they expect to utilize him more this week? They've been doing the running back merry-go-round over the last couple of weeks with Khalil Herbert and DeAndre Swift, and those guys haven't really been able to get anything going, but Roshan had a good week. He was utilized in the passing game last week. I got the Rams this week. Do you think there's any merit to Roshan, or is he a stash and wait play for you?
Stash and wait for Roshan and Irving. I love having those guys. I love having them on my bench. You have 2 starters. You have 3 starters in Akers, Stevenson, and Pollard. I would just start Akers, and then Stevenson against the 49ers, John. I mean, he's the only guy they have. All of his yards have come after contact. I think it's just Akers and Pollard, right?
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, let's hit some rapid fire here because we're not even up to 11 o'clock.
Commander Andrews.
Andrews, 100%.
Shakir McLaurin, Cortland Sutton. Need to.
Gee.
The first 2.
First 2. No Sutton against the Jets. Yeah, actually, sorry.
PPR got Henry, can pick up.
Oh, he's got to drop somebody.
Yeah.
I would just start Hunter Henry, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop Henry.
Not going to drop, or not going to drop Mooney or Bucky Irving either.
Nah, Henry. He has no injury designation, so the ankle seems to be fine.
Yep. Monty, Moss, Kenneth Walker need to.
I would just go Monty and Moss for now because the obliques can be tricky, and
They said Walker will play today, so
he's going to play tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're playing
tomorrow.
But the oblique and the Charbonnet played so well. I think I would just rather start Monty and Moss right now.
Bucky Irving or Quentin Johnson.
QJ, man.
Okay.
Bucky the hamstring.
And wants to know tight end premium: London, D-Hop, Wilson, or Henry. Need one.
Just gonna start London, even though I love Michael Wilson today. Get Michael Wilson in for some DFS, but I'm gonna start London. Yep.
Follow up to that question from 912 Fantasy. Sneaky DFS play of the week.
Easily Elijah Higgins. That's the play, man. He's converted wide receiver, gonna be playing the Trey McBride role. How did we get Trey McBride last year? Trey McBride was doing nothing, and then Zach Ertz got hurt, and he stepped right into that role, and he looked pretty good. I think that's a world where Elijah Higgins looks pretty good. He caught a touchdown pass.
McBride was a second-round pick, though, so it's not
but McBride's a much better blocker than Elijah Higgins too. It's like but if they're going to just let this guy play wide receiver, but he's eligible at tight end, so that's on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they still have Higgins categorized as wide receiver, and we're not going to use him. So only on DraftKings.
Andrews are likely. Lauren wants to know, so I'm guessing, or Jessica rather wants to know.
Andrews, Jessica, it's a good matchup. Bounce back. He's confident. I'm confident. Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard are out. Get him in there.
Ridley or Debo? Debo's in today.
Man, it's those injury designations. If there was no injury designation, we'd say Debo, no question, right?
Yeah, versus Patriots.
Yeah. So I think it'd just go Debo.
Jacoby Myers or Pittman for Dan?
Jacoby. I don't trust Pittman. I love Pittman. I don't trust him.
Steelers. Yeah.
Not versus Steelers. Not the way Richardson's playing.
I got to see if I'm playing Dan or not this week.
Yeah, I've already said my piece.
Yeah, you beat me last week, Coop. Congratulations. I'm placing not facing Dan. Lazard or Hunt, standard league.
Lazard.
Yeah, I can't play Hunt, so we have no idea what's going to happen in that backfield. Would you sit Olave for Shakir, McLaurin, or Dobbins? I would sit him for McLaurin, but we have to know if Olave is going to be in or not.
I would just start McLaurin.
Okay.
A hamstring injury on Friday
has me.
Oof, I hate that.
Would you trade Irving and Andrews for McBride? Or Dobbins for McBride straight up?
Yeah, I would. I would do that. I would trade.
Oh,
no, I wouldn't trade Dobbins. I wouldn't trade Dobbins. I would trade Irving and Andrews for McBride.
You trade Irving and Andrews for McBride?
Irving is still just. We've been touting Irving. We've been touting Roshan. They're still just an idea, though. It's an idea.
No, he's getting work.
He's getting work, but
he's not Blake Corum, who's not playing at all.
But can you start him?
I think he's a flex play the way he's been performing.
9 carries a game, or 6, 7, 8, 9.
He's been scoring the fantasy points. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in McBride. I mean, I believe in Andrews. So
that's what I'm saying. If you believe in Andrews,
but McBride
today, you wouldn't sell him, right?
But McBride, you don't have to say I believe in McBride. Everyone believes in McBride. He's the tight end 1.
He also has a concussion right now, though. So
1 concussion. All right, I'd stick with it. Stick with what you got. 1912.
Yeah. Zamir or Michael Wilson?
I think Michael Wilson. Yeah, it's great matchup for him. In DVOA, they're terrible against wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. Zan.
Yeah. Bowers or Gesicki? I think this is easy. Going Bowers.
Only show in town.
Yeah. Debo, Juwan Jennings. You got to go Debo. Think about it this way. Juwan Jennings had the week he had last week because there's no Debo and no Kittle. So he was the only guy. And Minnesota just didn't cover him. They
And
just
and they
decided
use the fullback, Skyler. So
Yeah.
Jennings goes back to being a part-time player.
Rashad White officially active for today, as is Keenan Allen. So
Cool.
Mayfield or Love. I'm going Love here. Akers, Ford, Pollard, or Moore for standard. Need to.
I mean, hard to bench DJ Moore in anything, I feel.
Yeah, no, I love DJ Moore. I took the over 55.5 receiving for him today.
Right. And standard's kind of his best format too. DJ Moore and
I think this is where I go Ford.
Yeah, Ford. No Max Crosby. Yeah, go Ford.
Yep. Olave or Flowers. I'm good on Flowers there with the hamstring, and then I go Connor over Jacobs today, honestly.
Yeah, against Washington. Connor has been great.
Addison or Brian Thomas Jr. I like Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep. He's the wide receiver one for that team.
Chris has a whole bunch of things here. Starters. Would you trade Allen, Olave for Rich and Mason? Allen and Olave.
Trade right now?
No, I'm not trading for Anthony Richardson, so that's just a no for me.
I feel like doing a trade on Sunday morning is bad.
Why would you trade Josh Allen? Rashad, Javante, Dubs, Judy need one.
I mean, Judy has been quietly like very usable.
Yeah, he's been good.
He's been good. Yeah,
I'm good with Jerry Judy. That's fine.
Go with Judy.
Y'all with your trades. Start to show. I have a trade pending. Should I trade Connor for ETN? No.
The thing about James Conner has the.
What are people thinking? Why are people looking to trade James Conner? I don't.
If you just take James Conner's game logs and look at it, this guy has always been good. The only stigma is that he gets hurt, right? But that for weekly start sits, that shouldn't come into the equation.
He had a bad game last week against Detroit. Every running back is going to have a bad game against Detroit. You don't run on Detroit.
James Conner's a good player.
Nothing about ETN has said that you want ETN on your team. Barkley and Mason starting. Currently have Akin and the flex. Should I replace any of them with Dobbins? Nope. Thoughts on Debo going? If you got to play him, I mean, he's out there. Patriots defense has been questionable, and I don't think he's going to see Christian Gonzalez. I think it's going to be Ayuk. So,
yep.
Dubs, Yosivas, Downs, or Roshan start two.
Yoshi's off the menu for me, buddy. Just not with Higgins back. I'm going to go with Downs and Dubs. Again, Roshan, we like the idea. I like having him on the bench, not in my lineup.
Okay. Russell Wilson inactive today.
Trying to get, we think Roshan's going to take over at some point, but trying to guess the exact game when it happens isn't as appealing to me as it is having it happen and then starting him from that point forward.
Chris Olave officially active for today, as is Alvin Kamara. So there you guys go there. Darnold or Richardson? Oh, that's a me question. Darnold.
That's a you question. Yes.
Running back ranked next to each other. Jacobs, Connor, Achan for standard.
So I would start Jacobs and Connor in standard. Oh, you only one of them? I would start James Conner. I think I have Jacobs ahead personally.
I like Connor a lot this week.
In standard,
it's tough for me to get off Connor.
Jacobs, where Jacobs ranks in standard versus where he ranks in PPR is so different because like, he had 150 yards against the Colts, but because he didn't score or catch passes, like he's like fourth in rushing yards and he's like RB 20 something.
Yeah, he'll get the volume. I mean, there's definitely touchdown equity in both of those guys here. I'm out on Achan though for this week. Most are back to.
It's standard too. Standard's not a good format for him.
So again, I go Connor. I'm big on Connor this week.
Let me just double check out. Do I have him back to back? I do have him. Back to back. I have James Conner ahead. I have James Conner one pick ahead of. I have him one spot ahead of Jacobs.
There you go. There's your answer, James Conner. Jaden Reed, Tyreek Hill, or Amari Cooper. This is pretty tough, actually.
Just start Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
he rocks, dude. If you just get the ball in his hands, that's what matters. It's what makes Tyreek Hill what makes Tyreek Hill who he is what he does after he has the ball.
Good. Flowers, Reed, Ayuk, Higgins, JSN needs two full PPR.
I'm definitely starting JSN against the Lions.
All right, so we go Flowers and JSN then.
Yep.
Okay. Leggett, Patrick, Palmer, Sanders. I think you got to go Leggett here.
Yeah, go for the upside. If it's going to be a mess, just go for the upside pick.
Yep.
Trey Palmer is the fourth wide receiver. Oh, Jalen McMillan's out now, even with no
Yeah,
McMillan
no,
out.
Xavier Leggett gonna be the number 2 receiver today. It's a
Yeah.
good spot for him.
Mm,
Moss, Diggs, or Metcalf. Gotta go Metcalf there, but
yeah,
it's a great spot for all of them. So
yeah.
good drafting, Rob.
Metcalf. Oof.
I had Jones last year. He's a nightmare and off the IR.
That's why they moved on from Jones. But again, that's a long-term concern.
Yeah.
For a weekly basis, he's been great. He's like,
Uh,
why he's running back. He's running back 9 in fantasy
Purdy
football.
or Fields? I'm gonna go Purdy still. Again, Fields just if he's not running, there's the floor is so low.
Yeah.
Huntley or Levis? I think I'd go Huntley.
Huntley, yeah.
Achan or Akers? Got to go. Even in a standard league, I'm gonna go Achan over Akers.
He's too explosive.
Need 2 for Belmer here. Williams, Jaden Reed, Keenan Allen, Darnell Mooney.
I'm gonna go JMO and half PPR for sure. I'll go JMO and Reed.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it and Reed as well with Love back. Bowers or Kelsey, Coop?
It's Bowers with all the injuries. I like them both, but it's Bowers.
Sarah wants to know Richardson or Goff. Again, I am anti Richardson, so I'm gonna go Goff this week.
Great matchup for Goff too. That's gonna be a shootout. I like that game.
Walker or Reed?
Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
Boy, he looked so good before he got hurt.
This one already, guys. I understand we're also a half an hour behind, but for those of you who are entering now, you don't need to repeat your questions. We are working through them, so
we're gonna rapid fire our way back up. Don't worry.
Pitts or Fryermuth?
Still going Pitts upside for Pitts. Muth is safe.
Henry or Schultz?
Schultz with no takedown.
Okay.
And the Jags safeties are garbage.
Yeah, 6-point passing touchdown. You're playing Goff here over Anthony Richardson
For sure.
Walker, Pollard, half PPR.
Man, the Titans suck.
He's been running. Pollard's been good, but I'm going to go Walker.
Go with Kenneth Walker, yeah.
Half PPR needs 2 wide receivers on flex. Cook, Kyron, Chuba, Jefferson, Jennings, Flowers, Jason.
Okay.
Kirk,
so Cook and Kyron are definitely in.
Yep.
Jefferson is definitely in.
Yep.
So
Flowers is definitely in.
Flowers definitely in, and then JSN. So there you go.
Okay.
Scampers. Can you put Scampers up real quick? Mr. Scampers won the loser ball contest. Go over to my timeline right now on Twitter at Coop A Fiasco. Coop, letter A, Fiasco. Right now, we have a contest up. It's free to join. It's free to play. The sign up is super easy. And you just pick 3 teams you think are going to suck. The winner gets an NFL jersey of their choice. Scamp, let us know in the chat who you picked for your jersey. So go get signed up right now. It's the Fantasy Alarm Week 4 contest once you're in there. And literally, you just pick 4 teams you think are going to be bad. So I picked like the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like it's easy.
Yep. Let's see here. Akers, Chuba, or Donta Foreman for Ann. We can go Chuba here.
We like Chuba, yeah.
Yeah. Hill, McLaurin, Shaheed, or Jameson, Williams. Who do I bench? Do I bench Hill? No. You could play if you really felt uncomfortable with Tyreek Hill, play Terry McLaurin. But I'm still okay with Tyreek Hill. And then Kyler or Hurts. Oof. I think you're playing Kyler for sure. But I mean,
I guess Washington.
Yeah, I agree. But this is all. I mean, the Bucs defense also bad, and Hurts might be doing a ton of running today.
Yeah, it's just if one of AJ Brown or Devonta Smith was playing, then I would say Hurts. But with
you don't believe in Jahan Dotson, John Ross,
Johnny Wilson, Paris Campbell, right? Yeah, I don't, not quite. So
I'm going John Ross activated. I was like, John Ross is in football still.
It's the conditions are perfect on each side too, because Murray gets the Commanders too. So it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Obviously, this is an earlier question. Are you just playing Kamara and Olave? Yeah, both are active today, so we're good there. McLaurin, London, or Waddle? She's already playing Daniels.
I have London ranked ahead.
Okay. Twitch gang.
Oh snap! Twitch glasses for the Twitch gang. Where you guys been all morning? I guess he was in here 12 minutes.
I mean, he's in here 12 minutes after the show started. We're just 40 minutes behind. Let's see. London, McLaurin, Pickens, Moss. Need a wide receiver and a flex.
Moss is going to be in the flex, and I'm going to go London.
Okay. Baker or Geno? I'm going to go Geno this week. Atwell.
Love Geno this week. Love Geno.
Scott Fishbowl. Atwell, Henry, or Calvin Austin?
So this is super tight end premium.
Kangas, man.
I will start Henry just because it's crazy tight end premium in that format.
Okay.
Freiermuth has been like a star in that format because
With 4 catches for 30 yards.
4 catches for 30 yards is the equivalent of a wide receiver having like 7 catches.
Let's see if we can rapid fire and catch up a little bit here.
Okay.
Rashad, D-Hop, Shakir need one.
Shakir.
Murray or Mahomes? Jeez, I'm going to go Kyler.
I have Kyler ahead.
Dobbins or Shakir for Warrior Bowl?
I don't know the scoring for that, Kangas, but Shakir.
Okay. Charbonnet, Dortch, Muth, PPR, not tight and premium. I'm going to go Dortch then.
Dortch. Yep.
Half PPR, wide receiver gets a 1 PPR, tight end gets a 1.5. So Kmet, McLaughlin, Williams, Charbonnet, Dotson.
How many of them? Just one?
I guess so.
Then I would start Javonte Williams.
Okay. Series of questions, different leagues. Start Andrews or Likely?
Andrews.
Akers, Waddle, Jennings.
Akers.
Now this one we need 2 running backs, a tight end, and a flex of Monty, Akers, Walker, Kmet, Likely, and Wilson.
Tight end will be Likely, and the running backs will be Monty and
You
Walker.
just play all 3? 2 running backs and a flex? Play all 3?
Yeah, just play all 3 running backs and Likely.
Okay. If you were to sit a running back, I would sit Akers for Wilson.
Yep. Those questions were formatted actually pretty well.
Yes, they were. I agree with you. Mayfield, Richardson, Caleb. I really like Caleb Williams. I know you talked about the passing. He still threw 30 times in week 2. So they're willing to throw the football there. The Rams terrible pass defense.
Keenan's back, Adunze, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet's there. Weapons are there.
I like it. Jacobs, Walker, Dobbins needs 2 running backs of that group. So I'm sitting Dobbins.
Sit Dobbins, yep.
Dotson, Adunze, Sutton, and McLeod need 2 for PPR.
I'm going to start Sutton and Adunze. I think Keenan Allen is still going to be a part-time player today.
Sure. Jair Alexander just got ruled out, by the way. So good looks for Justin Jefferson.
Really scared.
It could be. Watson or Lawrence, FFPC. Sheesh.
Trevor, man.
Dude, my initial reaction is to play Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I started him last. I mean, the thing with Watson is he is running a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Deshaun Watson against the Raiders.
No Max Crosby.
Dude, Andy Dalton just threw for 330 and 3 scores or whatever it was last week.
Yeah, but Andy Dalton's a superstar.
Yeah. Bengals or Buffalo defense here?
I'm pulling it right now.
Buffalo versus Ravens or Bengals versus Panthers?
Bengals still probably. I mean, Bengals are missing some people.
I said Bengals are missing some key pieces to that defense. It might be Buffalo, but it's obviously not. Dan, is there anybody else you can add other than can you drop Cincy and pick somebody else up maybe?
Text that shorts.
Robinson, Dubs, or Allen for Belmer here?
Dubs, Romeo.
Yeah, probably Romeo. Start 2, Spears, Pittman, Chandler, Jaleel, Downs, McCaffrey.
Pittman still under the conditions, and I would probably start Josh Downs.
Play both.
If this were my team, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Because the other guy, what am I going to play? Backup running backs instead?
Luke McCaffrey might not be a backup wide receiver.
Okay, Pittman and McCaffrey then.
There you go. Just start Baker over Hurts. Nope. Playing Hurts. Flex Walker, Kirk, or Jennings.
Kenneth Walker, man.
Yeah.
If he's healthy,
they say will be there for him. So
he's healthy. If they're
Higgins, Madison, Walker, Ford, Worthy, Thomas.
The thing with Walker, they told us he was going to play yesterday. They made the decision, so it's not like he's a game time decision. They said this guy's ready to play, so I assume he's ready to play. So if it's just one of the players you listed, I would probably start T. Higgins.
Okay. Let's see. Kirk, Pittman, Dubs, Palmer need 1 in a PPR.
Full PPR, Kirk.
Yep, Kirk. Trey Tucker or Juwan Jennings?
Tucker, because Tucker's moving up in the lineup. Jennings moving down.
Probably Javonte because you're getting a 0.5 point per carry here.
We have no idea what Legette's going to look like.
Yep, agreed. Flex 2, Deontay, Waddle, Worthy, or London. I really like Deontay Johnson, so I'd plug him in, and then it's Waddle or London.
It's London.
Okay. Higgins, Walker, Worthy, Thomas, Ford, Madison. Needs 2.
Higgins and Kenneth Walker.
Dubs or D Hop?
Dubs is playing. He is the wide receiver 1 for the Packers versus D Hop, who's been kind of a part-time player, but they were scheming things up for D Hop. I'm going Romeo Dubs. I have a lot of Romeo Dubs, and I'm starting in a lot of places.
Okay. Love or Baker? I'm gonna go Love here this week. Olave or Stevenson in a PPR?
Stevenson, man. The Friday hamstring is a tale as old as time.
Sure. Tennessee versus Miami or Chicago versus the Rams?
Tennessee.
Shakir, Ford, Jennings, Irving, or McLaurin?
Just one.
Seems like it.
It's McLaurin then, right? That game. How are they going to get? This is my question, John. Is how if 50-point over under, the spread's only 3.5. How do they get to 50 points without Terry McLaurin having a decent game?
The thing is that they've been playing to unders a lot this year. So
I mean,
they had 50 points the last 2 weeks and they went under both times.
So yeah. Well, I just think that I believe
McLaurin's the answer.
I believe in the shootout. I believe.
Dalton, Deontay, cheap stack. They are cheap stack in DFS this week. I got him in my lineups. Deontay only like 56. Dalton down there.
Well, that's another one where the over under for that game is 47 and the spread's like 4. It's like, how do you get there? Right. Tommy Tremble, John.
McConkey or Rashad White, PPR and reception bonuses.
McConkey. I mean, they still have to play the game.
Yeah. Najee or Hubbard.
I like Najee, man. No Jalen Warren. The Colts' run defense is trash. I know Cordell Patterson is going to do something annoying, but Najee.
I think I 100% agree with you. I lean Hubbard just for the PPR.
Yeah.
Dalton threw him
but with no Warren, yeah, I'm still going Najee, but they're both good plays, Randy. I mean, like, you almost can't go wrong.
All right, we're close to catching up a little bit. Lockett or Allen?
Lockett against the Dolphins. Against the Lions. Carl Davis and Terrion Arnold have been dog water.
Yep, agreed. What do we got here? Bonuses for longest reception. Justice Hill, Mostert, Dotson, Schultz, Henry. Don't you have to go Dotson in this spot? Need 2.
I mean, depending what the bonuses are, but I mean, Dotson's the only one that's going to have a long reception. I would start Dotson and I would start Dalton Schultz because the Jags corners, Andre Sisco and Antonio Johnson are literally ranked outside of the top. Only 120 safeties have been graded by PFF, John, and both those guys are in the bottom 10, outside the top 110. That's bad.
Not good.
No Tank Dell either.
Flowers or McLaurin?
It's still Flowers. Half PPR. You agree? You agree with that, John?
Yeah,
Flowers.
Yeah. I'm good with Flowers there. Javonte Williams, Waddle in a flex.
I think I just start Waddle there. Javante's been really rough.
Okay. Standard league, Roshan or Tom? What?
Oh wait, we didn't answer the second question. Hurst, Dulcich, Higgins. I mean, in that situation, I'm going to go Elijah Higgins. Hurst is getting the usage, and it's kind of a interesting matchup versus the Chiefs have bled points at tight ends, but they're kind of like mixing. Like Disley, Hurst runs double the snaps of Disley, but Disley keeps getting more targets. So I think I'll just go Elijah Higgins there. Go for upside. Go big. Go crazy. Go big and crazy.
What do I must be blanking on a different Thomas here. So, or is it
Brian? It's either Brian Thomas or Michael Wilson. And if it's Brian Thomas or Michael Wilson, then start them. If it's Michael Thomas, I think you know the answer.
So he's not even playing. Akers or Garrett Wilson. Could have been Garrett Wilson.
I look around at these teams, and I'm like, some of the teams I feel like you could make a offense of like Michael Thomas and Hunter Renfrow that might be better than what they're using. Like, why doesn't Washington take a look at Hunter Renfrow?
There's got to be some back. So we know why Michael Thomas probably isn't playing, right? Doesn't he just have some character problems there?
I think so.
Olave, Ayuk, and Deontay half PPR.
It's Deontay. Ooh, could be actually half PPR. Probably Ayuk, John. Right?
No, I'm not going Ayuk.
Why?
Bad game script.
Yeah, Patriots are just gonna lie down today. That's gonna be sad.
Yeah, they got to read back for Ayuk, and Ayuk will get Christian Gonzalez, who.
That's true. Yeah,
shuts everybody down. So I would go Deontay here.
Yeah, that groin.
I'm not worried about it. Andrews or Conklin?
Andrews, come on now. Come on now.
My crazy start, Deontay over Will Levis in a super flex. Again, I'm good on Deontay Johnson, and obviously Will Levis has not been great, but it is a super flex question.
I just start if whatever quarterback is breathing, I start them.
Okay.
Will Levis versus the Dolphins.
Is Irving, Akers, or Hunt the best stash?
Irving is because Irving's the only guy that could outright steal the starting job for like the rest of the season.
Agreed. Strange or Higgins in PPR?
I'm going Higgins here. I just like his upside better. I like his profile better. Strange had it.
Picked up Higgins in our league because I had McBride in my tight end spot, and I didn't realize it.
So. Strange had a perfect matchup last week, and he caught 2 passes. He got thrown 5, only caught 2, scored the touchdown, but like that was like conditions were perfect for him last week.
Yeah, Olave or Debo?
Debo.
Okay, we got about another 20 questions. Good. Let's see if we get through these here. Yeah, Michael Thomas or Roshan Sander? Are you stashing Michael? Is there another Michael Thomas I don't know about? Like,
we'll get through. Anybody that asks a question before what's the cutoff? 12:55. You got 3 minutes to get questions in. If you get your question in, we'll hit it.
Anyways, we're gonna go Roshan because I don't know who the other person you're talking about is. Watson or Jamo or Dunze?
Jamo. Against that Seahawks game should be fun.
Love Darnold or Caleb Williams. This is pretty tough. Now that there's no Jair Alexander, let's go Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
DFS favorite play of the day. I mean, I have Barkley in all my lineups. So.
Oh wow, John's big sleeper pick. Everybody, Saquon Barkley. Yeah. Give us a different one. Give us a pay down. You got.
He didn't say sleeper. He said favorite.
Okay, fine. Yeah, well, my favorite, but Saquon Barkley's my favorite too. Then.
Okay.
I'll give you another one.
He's my favorite. He's on the cover of the example lineups. Like
I'll give you another one. If you have the money for it, I think Kyle Pitts has an opportunity to do big things today versus.
Yeah, you're going tight ends. That's not surprising. Again, I also am pretty high on James Conner today. So
there you go.
Debo, Waddle, trade Debo and Waddle for Love, Pittman, Deontay. No, you're selling low on both of those players there.
You're buying a falling knife in Pittman.
Yeah, no McBrides or Ertz or Conklin.
Ertz, man, he's been catching balls.
Okay. Akers, Judy, McLaurin, Garrett Wilson need 2.
I hate that matchup for Garrett Wilson, but I think you still got to start him, right?
Yeah, still playing him.
Garrett Wilson.
I'd do McLaurin and Wilson.
Yep.
McLaurin or Jennings, McLaurin.
Jennings is going back to being a part-time guy, everybody. Like he was playing 90% of the snaps when Debo and Ayuk and these guys are banged up. Now that Debo's back, they use the fullback so much, he's going to go back to playing 40-50% of the snaps, man. It's McLaurin.
Myers or Debo have PPR?
Just still Debo. Jacoby Myers is still Jacoby Myers. It's not like other guys get hurt and he turns into, Jamar Chase.
Yeah. He still keeps saying Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson. There we go.
We did it.
We figured it out. Michael Wilson over Roshan Johnson.
I am going to start Michael Wilson. Yes, Michael Wilson.
There you go. We worked through it.
We made it.
Mike Wilson or Addison. I'm going to go Wilson there.
Wilson, yeah, we love the matchup for him.
Jennings, Shaheed, JSN over.
JSN, yep. Great matchup.
Who do I sit? Henry, Hall, Mason, Hubbard, Adrian. Why would you?
Twitch gang?
Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Jordan Mason, Chuba Hubbard, or Achan. He's got to sit one of that group.
When I have that type of situation, you just start all the coolest dudes, which means you got to sit Hubbard, right?
Yeah, you're sitting Hubbard and then trade one.
And trade somebody. Yeah.
If you have to sit a group there, you got to trade one.
Do a 2-for-1 of some kind. Yeah.
Daniels or Lamar 6-point touchdowns.
Lamar, come on.
All right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you believe in the shootout?
Homer's Buffalo. It's not bad. It's a good spot for him.
They're both great.
Daniels got the over-under game. So, Lamar's just play Lamar. You can't go wrong there. Full PPR, Dotson, Addison, Ridley, Swift.
It's
Ridley?
Calvin Ridley, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was so confused by that sentence.
Well, because there's a lot of he's the only number one wide receiver in that group, and Dotson's there.
But it is Ridley.
Mahomes, Purdy. Mahomes for me still. And then Goddard or Andrews.
This is one where I would start Goddard just because Again, he still got her, but they got nobody else. Floor
Agreed.
is so good.
We got a question for tackles today. You got tackle monster for
We
us?
did the tackle monster on. We do tackle monsters on Thursday. I don't have one for today, but maybe
Yeah. Oh, you get
if
one
I
from
have
the
time,
Thursday
if
game?
we do the tackle monster prop for Thursday night football.
Okay.
We had this week we had Bobby Okereke. Just missed it. But I'll drop one if I got to do the tight end rankings after this, and but if I come up one, I'll drop it in Coop's corner over on the Fantasy Alarm Discord. Everybody, get yourself a 7-day free trial right now. Sign up for either option over at Fantasy Alarm. If you do the All Pro monthly, use promo code Let's Go, get the first month half off if you decide to keep it, or the annual is 40% off for the entire year. That's the best deal we have right now. Sign up for either, and then you can check everything out for 7 days, check out the Discord, check everything out, and then decide if you want to keep it. But you'll make so much money playing DFS.
If I had a bet on someone hitting a tackle prop today, it's going to be someone in the Steelers Colts game. Two teams that are going to run the football a ton. Dubs or Addison. I'm going to go Dubs here.
Yep.
And then Daniels or Burrow. Oof, that's such a good spot for both. I'm still gonna go Jaden Daniels, but I do like Joe Burrow here. Hurts.
If the Zaire Franklin tackle, like combined tackles number is less than 10, then take it. Take the over for Zaire Franklin. That's the pick.
Zaire Franklin.
Yes, that's the
9.5. Zaire Franklin's at 9.5. Minus 135.
Over.
Okay. Hurts or Daniels and a 6-point passing touchdown. I guess I would lean Hurts still. I don't know if either throws a touchdown today. So
I mean, I just don't see how. Like, so you're the more we talk about this, John, I think we should bet the under in that Cardinals Commanders game.
Well, I think points can be scored, but they can just be scored on the ground. They're both running. Like Daniels, they're running quarterback.
Start Jalen Hurts. Trade somebody, Kangas, for the love of God.
Yeah, you drafted Daniels hoping he would do this, and you already have Hurts. So
you did a good job. I literally, Kangas, if you were listening to the Sirius XM show, I swear on the show today, I said nobody has questions where they're benching Jalen Hurts except for Kangas. I said your name today on the show, specifically because I watched you this offseason do the double tap QBs. And granted, you did hit them. But now look at you. Now
you have both guys, and you're figuring out each week. So it's. I don't ever find a scenario where you're sitting Hurts, so you can keep him in case he gets hurt, or you trade Daniels. Jennings over Akers or White. Again, Jawan Jennings just takes a hit today with everybody back. So
Akers, like Jennings, man, I'm telling you,
hope he gets a touchdown.
You should have Jennings, the guy you got to trade before the other guys get back.
All right, let's finish this out. We got a couple questions left, and we're almost at noon here. So
rapid fire.
Monster London 1 point PPR.
Moss.
White's active. So we're not going to play the backup, so we're going to go Rashad White.
Yep.
Addison or Harris 1 point PPR. Look,
Najee.
Olave or Debo.
We said Debo.
Yeah. Someone dropped McBride. I have Ferguson. Was able to add McBride on waivers. Who do you try to trade?
I would try and trade Ferguson.
Yeah. Steele, Javonte, Irving, Darnold, or Love. First Steele question today.
Yeah, and I think
I'm gonna go Love over Darnold, and then Steele.
The answer is Steele.
Yeah, feels that way. Higgins or Muth.
Muth has been good.
Love, Darnold, or Caleb Williams? I think I said Love in that situation. No, didn't I say Darnold because
Darnold?
Dryer's out, so Darnold. They're all very close. I like all of them, so it's very hard to really discern between the three. Harris, Shakir, Stevenson.
I'm starting Harris.
Okay. Ford or Akers? I like Ford over Akers.
Ford got John. You like when you look at the usage last week, you guys were right. The usage was great. He just didn't deliver.
Yeah, the team sucked.
Yeah, but
and he fumbled.
It fumbled. Right, but he got all the snaps.
He had 10 fantasy points still with the fumble. So
and Pierre Strong is out. So he's gonna be the best pass catching back on the team again. So and they're playing the Raiders. Ford, it's hard not to rank Ford top 15, 16, 17 or so.
Yep. All right, I got 10 questions left. Conklin, Fryer, Muth, Higgins.
Muth.
Start Olave even with already playing Shaheed.
Yes. They both have a 23% target share.
Yeah, your alternative would be a backup running back for Green Bay, Watson, or another tight end. So No, I'm going to still go Olave there.
Yeah.
Bowers or Kincaid?
Bowers, man. Bowers is tight end 1 today. Ranked tight end 1 for me.
Richardson, Rogers, Stafford, Dalton, Herbert, Levis, Nix. No, you're still playing Richardson. You're not going to pick up any of those other guys. So
No.
Trey Tucker today.
He's sure going to have to play more than usual.
He's gonna. I mean, the targets were great last week. Obviously, he's going to have the tougher matchup with the Cleveland defense. But
what they're going to do, because they don't have a true split end and Michael Mayer's out, is it's going to be a lot of 2 tight end sets with Harrison Bryant and Brock Bowers basically playing wide receiver, and then they're going to use Tucker and Jacoby Myers both as flankers off the line. It's going to look like it's going to look like the old Colts offenses with like Colby Fleener and Dwayne Allen.
Sure.
If that's exciting, then go for it.
Need 2 of Robinson, Walker, Diggs, and Mooney.
Walker and Diggs. No Tank Dell today.
Yeah. Zay, Najee, or Cook need 1.5 PPR.
I think it goes Zay Flowers. I think that game's going to be really good.
Okay. Best defense this week. Well, the 49ers are among the best defenses. Chiefs are up there. I'm playing a lot of Texans in DFS.
Yeah. Either one of the Dolphins or the Titans, if they're available,
sure,
is fine.
Vikings or Jets defense. I'm gonna go Jets defense.
Twitch gang, Big Daddy Weirdo in the house. Jets defense is my number 1 ranked defense this week.
Ridley, Mooney, Olave, Watson, McConkey, Johnston, Irving need to start 4. So we're sitting 3 of those.
Then I would start
the first 4.
Just play the first 4.
First 4. Schultz are likely for Twitch gang.
Schultz, no Tank Dell, and those Jags safeties are butt.
It's got Nico, Tyreek, Moore, Williamson, JSN. He needs to start 3 and a flex. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's sitting 1 of that group.
I mean, if you want to sit somebody, you would probably. I mean, you
look at that group. How do you?
You would have to sit Tyreek for JSN, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to start Nico, Tyreek, and DJ Moore and be happy with it.
Okay.
Nico, and a flex. And a flex.
So you play the first 3 and then JMO or JSN.
JSN versus Detroit is a great spot.
Likely Conklin and Ertz.
Ertz.
Chiefs or Rams defense. Gonna go Chiefs.
Chiefs.
We answered that one already. Judy versus Raiders. Wilson versus Commanders. Johnson versus Rams. Wilson.
Michael Wilson. We love Michael Wilson today.
Jacobs, Harris, Wilson, Goddard.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. That's it. That's the show. Everybody, good luck in week 4. We'll be back next week. Once again, hit a like, subscribe, share on the show today. A free way to support what we got going on here. Facetime.com/win 7-day free trial still going on. Last question of the day. Chiefs defense. That's Casey or Chiefs. That's the same thing. Dobbins, JSN, and McLaurin for the Twitch game to close out the show.
JSN
it is. Good luck, everybody, in your week 4 matchup. Scoop and I will catch you all later.